this is something that I think everybody understands, that chemistry matters in your house, at your work. And I'm always sort of amazed because I know the people that are executives in the NBA are smart people. They're very successful people. Many of them went to big colleges, graduated, they played in the league forever. This is why I've never understood Westbrook. I've never understood the fascination with Westbrook. Now, you can argue he's hyper-athletic. You can argue he's fashionable. There's the triple-double thing, which I always thought was overstated. What you can't argue is this, and it's not arguable, and it's being proven more and more so. He can't play with other people. You know, when you're a little kid and you went and got your report card, doesn't play well with others. He doesn't play well with others. You can't dispute that. If you're arguing that, stop talking. You can argue he's athletic. You can argue he gets stats. You can argue he's quick and got a burst. I get it. But now Westbrook's agent has put his hands in the air and said reportedly, I'm out. I can't deal with it. 14 years he had an agent, and the agent came out this week and just said, fourth trade possibility in 4 years. The marketplace is telling the Lakers they've got to add value with Russell in any trade scenario. My belief is that that kind of transaction diminishes Russell Westbrook. Basically, nobody wants his contract. Unfortunately, irreconcilable differences exist. His best pathway forward, we are no longer working together. And you can tell that Westbrook now, you know, there's criticism for every politician, every basketball player. We all know if you're in the public space, any job, it doesn't matter if you're a mayor, it doesn't matter if you're a city council person or a basketball player or a football coach, high school football coach for some, you're going to get criticized publicly. But it's starting to affect Westbrook now. LeBron, he can't even hide within the team. LeBron won't sit next to him at Summer League. So it's one thing if outside voices are ripping you, but when you go to work and your guy at work, LeBron, will not sit next to him. He posted a video on social media the other day when he signed that contract. He opted in. That's called projecting. Now he's talking to the critics. He's pushing back. It's really in his head. It's really affecting him. It's not good. He thinks this is great. It's like no self-awareness. It's not great. Don't react to that stuff. And listen, again, I don't want to just bash on Westbrook like it's over, right? But one of the things as I look at this situation, and I actually think it's good for the league, is that I know the executives in this league, they have to be smart. You can't become a GM in the league and be a dummy. They got to be smart. But what I think is happening is we're pivoting out of about an 8-year, 10-year deal here that I don't think was good for basketball. There's no market for KD this morning. There's no market for Kyrie. There's no market for Ben Simmons. There's no market for Westbrook. There's very little market for Harden, who basically told Philadelphia, go find a bunch of good players. Whatever you have left, pay me that. To Harden's credit, he owns it. But this kind of chemistry puncturing, walking on eggshells, hyper high maintenance, I think people around the league are going, no, I want Giannis. I want Steph. I want Dame. I want Chris Paul. I want Jimmy Butler. And Butler's had his issues, but he shows up and he works hard and he demands it from his teammates. I do not think college basketball's March Madness should be routinely beating the NBA playoffs because the NBA players are so much better. But what it's telling you is America and big portions of the sports audience don't like this diva, high maintenance, I'll play when I feel like it guys. And I like KD. But there's no market for him. Miami's trying to engineer a deal, but they're not going to give him what they want. I don't want to spend all my time bashing on Westbrook. I've never been a big fan. I wish him the very best. But people now, Kyrie, Simmons, Harden, Westbrook, KD. And I think KD will go somewhere. But we're pivoting to the kind of basketball you can put your arms around and embrace. And don't lump LeBron into that. LeBron elevates others. LeBron is about winning. So you can't lump LeBron into that. LeBron goes to a team, everybody generally plays their best basketball ever around LeBron James. He's hyper-focused on winning. He wants to play every night. He's falling apart a little physically, and he can't. But I like the pivot of the NBA, which is moving away from this like 10-year cycle of high maintenance, needy, I'll play when I feel like it guys, more into Giannis, more into Steph. more into Jason Tatum, more into the Warriors culture, and I think it's great. You know, I was watching, LeBron played, I watched clips of it. I didn't go to the Drew League, which is in Los Angeles. It's a summer league, very, very popular. A handful of NBA guys play there, and it's fun video to watch. Now, a lot of people were making fun of LeBron because he's dominating less than NBA talent. I'm in awe of what I'm watching with LeBron. This is one of one. I know y'all love MJ. MJ played 1,200 games in his career. In the last 250, he was shot. He couldn't jump. Larry Bird played 1,050. He was shot at the end. LeBron's played over 1,600 games and still has a burst, can use either hand. He would have led the NBA. My bad. He would have been number 2 in the NBA last year in scoring by a fraction, a tenth of a point. Embiid would have barely beaten him if he just qualified and played enough games. He's so quick, 1,633 games. And I believe today, if you put him on the right team, he could lead an NBA team to a championship. He's just with an organization that's got chaos and a bad roster, and nobody can really shoot, and that's not LeBron's problem. I mean, well, I guess he wanted Westbrook, so it's part of his problem. And he moved to L.A., business is good, he got a ring, he's probably tired of moving around. He lives in Beverly Hills. Trust me, it's a nice place to live. I've driven through it before. It appears to be a very nice place to live. But, as much as we all love KD, and everybody's like, where's KD going? And I think he's a great player. If you told me I could sign KD or LeBron for a 2-year contract, I would sign LeBron. One, he always elevates teammates. Always. KD's great. Doesn't always elevate everybody. Number 2 is, he'll play through his contract. LeBron's always played through his contract. He may leave early, but he plays through his contract. With KD, you don't know. And number 3 is, and I think we all kind of know this, LeBron's really a great leader. He has a quarterback leadership. He could have been a politician. Whether you agree with what he thinks politically, he's willing to take shots. He's willing to take strong stands. He's a leader. He elevates others. And you can say, well, LeBron's been hurt. Last 2 years, he's played 101 games. KD's played 82. He's not that hurt. I just think he's gotten to a point in his life where LeBron's really happy and business is really good. But I still think when you watch him in this Drew League stuff, he admitted he's 100% healthy for the first time in like a year. You can talk all you want about Tom Brady, but that's a team sport. And Brady has to have certain coaches, certain players to work. And I don't think Brady right now, for the first time in my life, I'm predicting that Brady is okay this year and that Tampa's a big disappointment. Vikings will be the shock of the NFC. The Buccaneers will be a tad bit of a disappointment. But I believe LeBron could be the best player on the best team in the league. Doesn't mean he's better than Giannis, but he's darn close. He is darn close. We've never seen anything like this. I watched Jordan in Washington. He played 1,200 games. His last couple hundred, he was not the same player. LeBron is absolutely the same player he was 5 years ago. The difference is he's had all these ankle sprains, all these little tiny injuries that are weighting him down. And I know it's the Drew League. Man, my eyes tell me he is as good as he was 5 years ago when he's on the floor. That is one of one. That is a total unicorn. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.